Good morning, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you with regards to self-care, this notion of being superficial with intelligence. I just read this yesterday in a book I was reading from St. Edith Stein, and I think it's a great topic to discuss for today's world. So let's jump into this topic. Okay, so from Edith Stein, from her book, I'll share it in the description for you to check it out if you want to purchase the book. She argues in one of her lectures to the students that she had, that if you have the knowledge of something, of many things, just to have it, but you're not really using that knowledge to do something for yourself or for the community, then what's the point? You come off as a bit of a fraud, as a fool, as a hypocrite even, because you may know all these random facts on things just to sound intelligent, but what do you really know with your intelligence that you're doing every day to get better and to make everyone around you better? And that is a big point to stress in today's world, because you can look at all the television shows, YouTube channels, how everyone's sharing videos on many things, and there's great stuff out there, but it's like, all right, if I were to know what this politician said, what that politician said, this athlete, that teacher, this other person, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we could go through all the propaganda in today's society and just basically repeat what people are saying. And it's like, okay, sure, okay, we see something and we repeat it, but what did you think about that, Mike? What did you think that person said? Were they right? Were they wrong? Besides just repeating, being basically their servant, just kind of repeating what they're saying on the screen. What do you believe in? And I think for all of us, that allows us to develop into the people we're supposed to be when we think, okay, do I really have to jump off that bridge just because someone's telling me if we do, we get $1 million, just because this famous politician, this famous athlete, comedian said so, actor? And when you use critical thinking in social work, we use that quite a bit, thinking outside the box, how to help people and clients with their situations, struggles, getting resources to help them. How can we think outside the box so that way we're not just repeating and wasting resources, throwing money away, so that way it's like, oh, okay, what was the point? Because being superficial, you want to sound awesome. You want to gain people's respect. You want to be this like, oh, I know it all. Yeah, I know all this information. But when someone points you out and says, oh, I got you. I caught you. You're not so smart after all, are you, Mike? It's like, ooh, they figured me out. They figured out my game. It's like, oh my. Then they figured I was a liar and a hypocrite. And it's not the best way to go about it with knowledge when you're trying to sound intelligent in front of people. To gain respect is another thing I could share in this video. Just being humble, listening to other people, and speaking at the right time in a conversation, not to gain attention, but to really just to put out a point out there, just to share with others. That's where you start to generate respect intellectually with people, as far as contributing to a conversation, trying to solve a matter that people are trying to solve, rather than just trying to sound like, in the Catholic faith, we call that a gong. Basically, if you're just making loud noises, what's the point of you just sharing your advice? You're just becoming annoying at this point. It's like, oh, just be quiet. Yeah, shut your mouth. It's like, why speak? You're wasting our breath. So I sound a bit under the weather right now. I'm recovering from my cold, if you haven't caught that also, but I kind of like talking in a speak loud voice. But the point is, if you just share knowledge like what I just shared, just to share, it's like, okay, yeah, it was just so random. But when you could turn that random comment into something important, that's where your knowledge becomes something valuable for other people to listen to your opinion. A politician, I know I keep referencing them, but beyond just making a good argument, promises that they can't keep, many false ones, what are the ones that are true that you would vote for, that you would stand by that politician, by that political leader, by that mayor, by that judge? Who are the people you would vote into office that would make that change? Who's that head coach you would hire on your team to make the important cuts to release the distraction players, so that way you get the right players to start winning football games. Same thing with superintendents. Who will you hire on your staff to bring into your schools to make your school district much better, more effective? It comes down to courage. Courage. That plays into this concept of not sounding like an annoying person with intelligence. The courage to speak the truth. And when you speak the truth, that is what gives you a valid opinion when speaking with other people. That is what allows you to stand above the crowd, to build influence, develop attraction, to be more authentic with people, because you're not sounding like a liar and a hypocrite in front of people. People can sniff out when you're trying to sell them something, like a con artist or some sort of manipulator of some kind. And that's where toxic relationships develop as well. Because being a self-care channel, I'll share with you, if you fall for that toxic man, that toxic woman's lies of, oh, I'll be good to you, so and promise it, and blah blah blah, and then your relationship becomes abusive, turns sour. See, going beyond superficial, when you become a narcissist, a manipulator, that's where someone sold you something and now they bit you, and now you're stuck bearing that poison that they just put into the relationship. And so how to remain healthy? Know what you're talking about, use that information, and make sure you speak at appropriate times, and that will develop influence with other people. And that is how you don't sound superficial and become up as a know-it-all, a smart aleck, a wise guy, whatever a generation you are, that you can connect with this video. But if you know what you're talking about, if you do your research and you share with people at the right time, that is where you start to win people over, because you have something to back you up that will be effective for people to use later on, whatever the conversation's about. So that's from me to you, from Mike the MC this morning. Enjoy your Thursday. Stay healthy. Recover from your cold, like me if you're having one. Stay healthy. Be strong. And enjoy your Thursday.